What's up, cinephiles?
Welcome to our review of Frozen 2, directed by Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck. Now, Frozen came out 6 years ago. That was so crazy. But that movie sprung a lot of questions like, where did Elsa got her powers from? What happened to the parents of Queen Elsa and Anna? And this film has answered all of these lingering fan theories floating around. But in a nutshell, Frozen 2 is about once again saving the kingdom of Arendelle from external forces.
I can see that you have a real love for this franchise. I see your enthusiasm about it. Me, on the other hand, really not a big fan. I think the first Frozen was a good movie. It had great songs that I really come to hate as time goes by because it just kept playing on the radio. Everyone kept singing it.
I am not particularly overly enthusiastic when it comes to the Frozen. I have to admit that my love for the franchise has been rooted more on the songs. Like ever since I've heard the album, like I downloaded that on my Spotify. Then I kept listening. I like you. I wasn't annoyed that it kept playing. I like that it was able to bring the inner child in me. But yeah, in the Frozen, it's not necessarily the great story of all among the plethora of Disney classics, but it definitely solidified its mark as a classic because of the popularity it has reached way back 2013.
This also had a short film. It was shown before the screening for Coco, the Pixar film. That short film was really, really bad. This sequel, I would say that it's in between the two of them. It's not a good movie for me, but it's not really bad either. But first, I want to start with my positives. The animation is so damn good. There are times that it's breathtaking to see on screen.
I agree that the main improvement of this second film is the animation. I felt like Disney reached a new heights of animation when they started Moana in 2016. You remember the level of detail when
I love
it
that
comes to
movie.
the waves? And in here, Frozen 2, I think, surpassed the level of visual splendor when it comes to the animation.
It's absolutely stunning.
The songs, it's inevitable to compare that from the first and the second. I mean, Let It Go has been embedded into our hearts that I find myself humming of that song. But I think the songs here are also great. I mean, it's not like after watching Frozen, I remember all the lyrics to that song. And the same case with Frozen 2. I remember bits of passages, especially on the chorus part.
I have a question. Are the songwriters?
Yes, they're actually the same. They're written by Kristen, Anderson-Lopez, and Robert Lopez. And yeah, I think they once again captured good songwriting that they were able to deliver some plot points, the emotions that these characters are feeling, and and package them into some really catchy song. If there's an iconic Let It Go in Frozen, in Frozen 2, Elsa has like 2 songs which are equivalent to that. One is Into the Unknown and Show Yourself. Personally, I think the greatest among the bunch is the Into the Unknown.
I remember that
vocally wise, it was able to showcase a lot of range for Idina Menzel, who voices
she's a great singer,
Queen Elsa. But among those songs, a personal favorite of mine is Kristoff's song Lost in the Woods. It's clearly inspired by a cheesy 90s classic rock. Oh no, I'm getting some frown from you. But here, in the first film, we just get a snippet of Kristoff singing, and I'm glad that we're able to have that piece. Okay, go ahead and contradict what I'm about to say.
No, but I want to still get into my favorite element of the movie, besides the animation, is the dynamics between Elsa and Anna. Their relationship as sisters is very well realized. I really like when they are on screen together.
I think Frozen 2 has a better plot, in my opinion, because Elsa and Anna has more screen time together. The whole emotional core of this film is their sisterhood. So it comes across as melodramatic at times, but I just like that this film has able to brought them more together. In the first film, Elsa is just so ostracized, so far off, but go ahead and watch your about.
I don't agree. I'm sorry, I don't agree. I think the plot is very is the worst part of this movie, actually. The plot. And there's actually a problem in terms of continuity with what they've done to Frozen 2 and what happens in Frozen 1. What the parents' actions in Frozen 1 doesn't really match what they know in Frozen 2, so that had some problems for me. Okay, I want to talk about some of the use of its characters, okay? First, I want to talk about Olaf. Did you guys know the Minions? Did you guys remember Despicable Me? Despicable Me had the Minions, and the Minions are freaking awesome. And then they gave the Minions their own movie, and you just can't handle it. It's so freaking irritating. And here in Frozen 2, they tend to utilize Olaf probably a little bit more than tolerable for me. Although he had some great scenes, he had a great song number that's really funny, and there's a time here where he's trying to narrate what happened in the previous movie. Those were funny scenes. But overall, his overall use here is just a little bit intolerable for me. And let's talk about Kristoff. What they did to this character is so freaking lame for me. The entire movie, he wants to do something. And that's basically his entire arc. And there's a part in this movie where they just had to make him disappear. They just had to make him disappear. And he went back into the movie at the exact time that you know that he's gonna be back in the movie. That's a really lazy way to get rid of that character. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Before you go along, I'm going to contradict you first.
Okay.
About Olaf.
Welcome to the second edition of Screen Kings Movie Fights.
Okay, Olaf, I think Olaf is one of the best parts of the film. I mean, his humor worked for me, and as I've seen in the audience, especially at the kids loved Olaf. For me, Olaf never really reached the irritating level the way Minions do. I mean, I agree with the Minions movie. I found them overbearing at some point.
Yeah.
But Olaf here, I think Olaf is a more fleshed character. He's a wiser character. He's quirky, but has always been philosophical truths in his brand of comedy. And in here, he has this arc of growing up and wanting to know more, wanting to be wiser. It's kind of a paradox that he's younger, but he was able to bring out some truths that adults can realize as they grow old. I really love Olaf, and I'm sure I'm with the kids when they agree. But I mean, it's different when it comes to adults. So it's nice that we have different points of view. For Kristoff, I agree. He again once works as a plot device, but then again in the first part of Frozen, he is not really much of a central character. So I wasn't really demanding that spotlight for Kristoff. I was just glad that he has his own musical number, and there's also fun to be had with his bromance with Sven. Sven is a meal.
Yeah, it's classic Disney. They're always singing all the time, and the animation, the story per beat by beat, I think if you're an adult like me, like us, you're not really gonna be surprised by this movie because you know what's gonna happen, because Disney really has this certain formula. It's a kids movie, and there's something that happened toward the end. There's a decision that was made in the end of the movie that I don't think is really meant to be good for kids. Seriously. For me.
I am not picking up on that.
Can
you try to be
Okay. There's this decision that they made that has really, really drastic consequences at the end. If you're a kid, you can interpret it as I can just do things despite the consequences without really much discussion. I don't know, my adult brain just picked up on that, and I was thinking that's not a great message for kids.
You know what? The wonder of the Disney films and Pixar films is that they are subject to different interpretation, whether you're an adult or a child. I totally get what you're thinking, but actually that hasn't crossed my mind. Props to you for thinking about that. But I think if you're a kid, you're not thinking. I'm not undermining all those smart kids here, but I think most of the kids are just wowed by the spectacle involved, and
I hope
most
so.
of these surface level messages, not anything that sisterhood is just surface level. It's still a deep message, but when it comes to the consequences, I don't think it would matter that much. But yeah,
I hope so, because the kids in my screening are having a blast. They were laughing, they were enjoying themselves, but I really hope they don't interpret it like that. But if some kids do, I don't know, that's just really bad for me. I'm sorry, maybe I'm probably overthinking things, but that's just me.
At the core, Disney has a lot of characters doing rash things, doing impulsive decisions. Anyway, overall, am I thinking that Frozen 2 could be better? Yes, I have that feeling after watching this film. Story per se is not really groundbreaking, but the story and the songs that they have written to accompany this story is already worthy of being delivered as a sequel. This is something that I wouldn't mind seeing twice, and I really had fun watching this movie, so I'm gonna give this film a 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, obviously I'm gonna give a lower rating than that, but the animation in this movie is breathtaking. The dynamics between Elsa and Anna was great. It's a very Disney film. It has great songs, but I don't really believe that great songs can save a movie from some lazy writing. So I'm gonna have to give this movie 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay guys, that is a review for Frozen 2. So guys, tell us what you think in the comment section. Do you agree on my opinion or his opinion or whatever? Just let's get a discussion going, okay? And click subscribe and like.
Also hit that notification bell so you can be up to date with our latest videos. That took longer than expected. Okay, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye guys.
Bye bye.